I think we all felt that this might be the last performance for a very, very long time. So that's also in the tension in the room. And yeah, it was, I will never forget it. And I'm happy it's recorded.
Hello, Elisabet Strid. Welcome.
Thank you.
Swedish soprano. And we should have a little conversation today. First of all, how are you? I mean, considering the circumstances.
Considering the circumstances, I'm fine. And I try to use my time, my unexpected free time, to make useful things.
Yeah.
For example, learn some new repertoire and to enjoy the beautiful weather, find some inspiration outside.
Yeah. Where are you right now in Sweden?
Right now I'm in Leipzig, actually. That's my second hometown, so I am in Germany.
Oh, well, that's nice. Elisabet, actually, I don't want to talk, at least not very much about the virus, but there's one question. You have been in Sweden last weeks, is that right?
That's right, yes.
Yeah. What's different in Sweden? You got no lockdown, few restrictions. People seem to be very relaxed. What's different?
Yes, I think Sweden chose a completely different way of dealing with this situation. And they believe in not to force people to close down, but to give advices how to keep distance and anyway try to live as normal as possible during the circumstances.
Yeah.
Which means the schools are open, the shops are open, you can still go to a restaurant. But I have spoken a lot with friends, especially in the Stockholm area, and very little people are actually in the streets and outside. There is a big change from normal life. So I think most of the people really take their own responsibility in this situation and try to behave in the way that is right concerning the virus. But still, of course, we see a high death rate in Sweden right now, especially in the Stockholm area. And it is, of course, sad. On the other hand, I think it's also sad to lock down whole countries and whole societies regarding the economic situation and people suffering in that way too, and all shops and restaurants that has to close. So it's very difficult at the moment to say what is the right way. I think we will have the answer in some time.
Yeah. We will see when this is over.
Yeah.
We will see. And
yes.
I'm afraid we won't like what we will see after that.
That is for sure. But I also want to say that, of course, the opera houses and the theaters in Sweden are also closed. They are not open anymore.
Yeah.
So
where would you actually be right now if we won't have this crisis?
I would have been not so far away. I would be rehearsing in Deutsche Oper Berlin. I would make my debut as Venus in Tannhäuser. I would make both roles, Elisabeth and Venus. It would also be my first appearance at Opera Berlin. So I'm very sad about that, of course. I had really been looking forward to this very special event.
Believe me, I am sad too. I've got a ticket for the performance on 10th of May.
Oh, so, I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, that's sad. You lost your role debut as Venus, but you will do it next year. Am I right?
That is at the moment not clear. I know. I don't know what happens with the schedule of Deutsche Oper Berlin. At the moment I don't know when it will happen, but I hope it will happen because it's really a dream for me to make the boat rolls together. I've been singing very much Elisabet in the last years, so to put also the Venus in the competition would be wonderful.
The last performances you did before we had the lockdown, at least in Germany and other countries, was, correct me if I'm wrong, the premiere of Walküre in Göteborg and Walküre in Stockholm. And that was, how shall we say it, a stage concert, orchestra on stage, singers on stage, no audience. I tell you, I've seen the video and it's amazing. It's so intense, so intense. How did you manage that?
That was a very special situation. And we found out the evening before that it was supposed to be like it was. They had a hope into the last moment that they could make it as a real performance with audience and everything. But then the lockdown started also a bit in Sweden regarding this, not too many people at the same place. So we were told that the orchestra would be on the stage, we would be in front, and it was supposed to be a concert version, pure concert version. But I mean, you need to do something when you stand there, and we just try to find a way of expressing our emotions and to make it come alive.
Yeah.
And I think there are beautiful moments. I dared to see it finally. Usually I have a problem to look at my own performances, but I think there were some really great moments in that production. So I'm happy I was a part of it.
Yeah, really, it's really it's wonderful. It's great. You don't miss anything. It's a Walküre.
It was a Valkyrie, and yeah. I think we all felt that this might be the last performance for a very, very long time. So also in the tension in the room, and yeah, it was. I will never forget it, and I'm happy it's recorded.
Yeah. Sieglinde, let's talk a little bit about Sieglinde. That was actually your debut in Riga, as I know, right?
Yes, my Wagner debut, so to speak.
Wagner,
it
Wagner,
was,
yeah.
I made my first Sieglinde in 2006 in Riga. It was very special, and it really opened my eyes to this wonderful world of Wagner, in which I have stayed for soon 15 years, actually. So.
And you have sung Sieglinde so very often. Did you count the performances of Sieglinde?
No, I didn't do so far. I'm not so good in counting. That's not the part of the brain that is my best, actually. But it's some performances. It is.
Yeah, it's kind of a signature role for you.
It has become like that. Yes, yes.
Yeah. I have to tell you, I have been last year in Düsseldorf and saw the ring, and I admired your Sieglinde very much. That was outstanding. Thank you so much. Really, that was great.
Thank you. That makes me happy.
How do you avoid getting too much routine when you are singing so much Sieglindes? Sieglinde here, Sieglinde there. Don't you get routine in a bad way, I mean?
Yeah, no, I never actually experienced that, because all the different productions needs a new input, a new way of making the role, and and I think every time I step on a stage as Sieglinde, she's newborn for me, and it's always with new persons on the stage, new colleagues, and you have to catch the moment there. And I always try to make my performances like it's on life and death, and it happens now. And if you have that feeling, it will never become a routine, I think.
Would you say that's at this time your favorite role?
Well, I think Venus should have been one of my favorite roles on 1st of May, which was supposed to be the premiere, because that's a role I really adore. But apart from that, I really love Salome too.
Yeah.
I think she's actually my favorite character because she has so many different sides, and there are so many things to do creating her as a person, and the music is wonderful. And yeah,
that's interesting. Now you, at this point of your career, you seem to be a soprano for Wagner and Strauss. Well, that may be right, but what about the Italian repertoire?
yeah, I love the Italian repertoire. I really do. I haven't had so many possibilities to dig deep into it so far. I made some roles early in my career. I made Musetta. I was singing Liu. Later, Madama Butterfly. But hopefully there is a new role debut coming in the spring next year. Let's see what happens. But I hope I will sing my first mini in La Fanciulla.
La Fanciulla del West.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a role that has been sung very often by dramatic Wagner sopranos like Nina Stemme or Birgit Nilsson or Maria Rocker.
So that would be very exciting for me, and I'm really looking forward, and I hope it will take place as planned.
Yeah, yeah. And I have been informed, of course I have been, there was cancelled Beethoven Ninth Symphony, but instead of that, there will be a concert in, I can't remember, Helsingborg.
Helsingborg, yes, that's right. I just got it confirmed actually that they invite me to sing two Wesendonck-Lieder and Allmächtige Jungfrau from Tannhäuser and Visitata from Tosca. So I'm very excited, and I'm so happy to have something to work for now. It's more easy to keep the shape and to keep the mood when you have something in front of you. So that will be a live stream recording on the 14th of May, as far as I know.
Live stream recording on 14th of May.
Yeah.
Remember everyone. That's interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to hear Tosca, Visidarte. Elisabet, can you describe in just a few words? I know it's not possible in a few words, but let's try. The different way to sing German repertoire and Italian repertoire. Do you need to change your technique?
That is actually a very good question, because somehow I feel very comfortable in the German music with the German language. And I think it has to do that Swedish is a part of the same language group. And I like very much the way to sing Wagner and Strauss, and much focus on the text and to tell the story. And of course, in the Italian music, it's a bit more bel canto in another way, and a little another way of treating the lines, and so which is of course also useful in the Wagner. Everything should be sung like bel canto, which I also try really to sing the German repertoire in a beautiful way too. I'm working hard to do that. but I think that there is more focus on the vocal phrases in the Italian music, and that is of course wonderful. I think the language, the Italian, takes a little more effort for me than the German. So I need to work a bit harder when I sing Italian language, but I'm happy to work a bit more because it's so beautiful, and appreciate very much every chance I get to sing Italian music.
Would you agree if I say it's good to sing Italian music, Verdi or Puccini as well, when you're a Wagner singer, because the danger in singing so much Wagner is the danger of becoming a screamer.
Yeah. Nobody wants to be a screamer, that's for sure. And I think, but I mean, I really think, especially in the lyric Wagner repertoire, there are also so many beautiful lines. There are so many nuances in how Wagner did write it. So if you really look at the scores, you find so many details that makes it almost like Italian music. And I think Wagner was very inspired by the Italian music as well. And you hear it especially in the early operas, which sound so far away from the later Wagner operas. And I always try to find the lines and the beautiful phrasing. Also in Strauss, there are many beautiful moments in the Strauss operas as well. But of course, to come back to your question, of course it's useful to sing Italian music. Of course. Yeah.
I always think Wagner had singers who sang Bellini.
Yes.
And we all know Wagner wanted his music to be sung.
Yeah.
It's so sometimes it was so horrible when George Bernard Shaw went to Bayreuth. He wrote about the Bayreuth bark. That's what he heard there.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
No, and I mean, that's really sad also because Festspielhaus, I was happy to sing Freya there some years ago. And I mean, the Festspielhaus, it has the most beautiful acoustic. You never have to force your voice in Bayreuth. It's really never necessary. It's built in a wonderful way. So, I mean, I think it's a problem of nowadays bigger orchestras and the bigger halls for all and everything. And then it becomes difficult. But to scream is very important also for your vocal health and of course for the poor audience. Nobody is interested in screaming.
That was what I heard when I was a young singer. I was told, don't shout. Don't shout. Well, sometimes I made the mistake, but that's another thing. I can hear that, Elisabet, what you just told me, I can hear that you are, may I say that, a wonderful singer. And when I heard your CD with Wagner, I can hear that you are singing, you are a musician. That's wonderful, really.
Yeah, thank you. That's really what I really try to sing also the more dramatic repertoire as beautiful as possible. And of course, every singer has to use their special qualities. I have not the loudest voice, but I have another quality, and that's that I can sing it beautiful if I work on it enough, of course. But I mean, there are different ways and different ways of impressing as an artist, and it's very important to try to sing my roles beautiful.
Right. I spoke about the CD, and I would like to hear something about the difference between singing in a performance live on stage and being in a studio in front of the microphones? What do you prefer?
I always prefer a stage, and I always prefer to sing as a role character. That makes me feel very safe to be in a role. I was never so comfortable in singing concerts in general, because then you stand there as yourself, as Elisabet, and it becomes much closer to your own soul and your own personality. I find it always more easy to hide myself in another character and to give that character life. That's really the way I like to perform. And it was, of course, stressful in the recording studio, and you have not so many chances to make it in the best way you can. And it was very exciting, and I'm very, very thankful for this possibility to make the CD. It was a wonderful week of recording. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah. And it's a very, very fine CD, really it is. When all this is over, what will happen next? The upcoming projects, what's on?
Yes, it depends on when it all ends, I would say. But if there is a continuation in October, I will sing a Salome in Düsseldorf, Salome in Leipzig. Then I will go to Tokyo and sing Sieglinde. Yes, some more Sieglindes, I think, in Leipzig too. And yeah, so it continues. And of course, also I go to Tel Aviv, hopefully, and sing a Chrysotemis. Hopefully I sing the same role in Palermo. Let's see when we can continue.
Yeah, right.
The whole world of music and arts. I think so many people now who really are looking forward to the future.
What I would like to know is dream roles. Is there any dream role, one or maybe two or even three?
Yes, there are many dream roles. I always think in 10 years I would love to sing the Brünnhildes. I would love to sing an Electra before I stop. Of course, in maybe some years I would really adore to sing my first Isolde. It would be a dream.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think the next dream role that could come up would be a Tristan Isolde production. That would be wonderful to make. But of course, with a very good preparation time and really to dig into the role, into the music, that you really have it in your body and your soul before you.
Yeah.
It is always like that with these really big roles. You need lots of time. But I have time now, and actually I have a Tristan score here under the computer, so I try to use the time as good as I can.
You will come there. You will come there. Be sure.
Let's see.
And we are looking forward to hear your. I'm looking forward to hear your Isolde. I will be there.
That's wonderful. Then we meet someday.
Elisabet, let me ask you one last question. If there would be anyone or some people or people in general, and they would say opera and music of that kind, classical music, as we say, we don't need that. Do we need art, opera? No, we don't. That's not the music for our time. What would you answer them?
I think I would answer that a life without music and art would be a very empty life, because the music and art it's like food for your soul. It's healing, and it opens your mind, and it cleans your soul, and I feel it very well for me as an artist as well when I stand on the stage after a big performance, like for example Salome. You have given everything, and finally you feel like you are completely white inside. You are like newborn. And
Yeah.
I also know when I have seen or listened to very good performances or concerts, I can get the same feeling in the audience, that it really brightens up your life, and it release so many emotions. So many emotions are connected to music and to art. And
You're dead right. That's what Friedrich Nietzsche said. Ohne Musik wäre das Leben ein Irrtum. Without music, life would be a mistake.
genau, sage ich auch.
What about your German?
My German is a bit limited for an interview.
Okay, that's okay. Elisabet, that was a wonderful conversation. Thank you for that.
No,
That
it
was
wonderful for me too. Thank you.
really nice. I enjoyed it. I really did. Hope to see you on stage very soon. Very soon. All the best. Stay healthy.
Yes.
And as you say in Swedish, tusen tack and hej då.
Tusen tack, hej då.